let's talk about nuclear war. I mean, this is kind of on a theme, I think, having to do with stress. I mean, we have all this, I've got a hair somewhere. We have all this mess from that in the past and from uranium. I mean, God, it's a problem. It's extremely toxic to life. All right. But I want to talk again about these military grade devices on nuclear infrastructure. And, I mean, are humans trying to adapt? We need to be careful about that as far as communication, and also where we go, how just low does a person want to go, as far as, yeah, what did I used to be like? I mean, I did have a heart. I forgot. I had a heart and I cared about people and I felt good about myself at some point in my life, but it just doesn't matter anymore, so I'm going to do whatever I want or not do whatever I don't want to do without really caring about other people. And I mean, I suppose a person can sort of try to observe behaviors. I mean, really, but some of the behaviors are so aggressive. It's harmful. I think again about not being able to sleep and my heart going fast and getting up, and there was a message from someone, a little thing someone had written. And I mean, I have been seeing so much, many people responding to aggression in different ways, but um, it hurts. And you can see it, that it hurts people, no matter how tough we are. But, you are fake and no one cares. Well, the amount of time that it takes to write something like that. I mean, what does a person get from that, really? I mean, anybody out there, want to study that in some way? I'm not study insults. I mean, why bother? But I don't know. Is it possible to track behaviors and where a person ends up as far as their health or doing harm to other people beyond the insults and things like that? Well, I mean, that could be pretty complicated, but I just think, I mean, it really. Do we want to call this a variant of nuclear war? Could we? I mean, would that be a real bad mistake? A variant of nuclear war is humans doing harm with military grade devices on nuclear infrastructure. And what does harm include? Well, I think people kind of know when they're doing harm. And you kind of expect that from young people some because, teenagers are teenagers, young adults are young adults. But when adults are behaving like children and have really fallen into a hole, how do you help a person get out of that hole and maintain their dignity, not feel insulted, not feel hurt? What are ways to do that? This is just a thing to think about because these are not going to be around forever, but we don't know how long they are going to be around. They've done massive harm to our home. They've done massive harm to places. They've done massive harm to nature. They've done massive harm to humans. And yeah, I'm going to say this, and maybe it's insulting to some people out there, but anyone that thinks this technology is, wow, I mean, we're so lucky. I don't know, what kind of curriculum do I need to think about designing to help a person understand? Well, it might be working out well for you, or it might be working out well for you right now. Are you human from Earth? I mean, where else would you be from? I mean, no. So really, it's destroying the human heart. It's destroying ethics even more. It impacts the emotional heart, the whatever all the heart includes, and it also has an impact on physical heart and on our health in other ways too, physically. So yeah, emotional health, I can't fix it. Someone likes to be on a roller coaster ride, that's that person's ride. Sometimes that affects me. And do I like it? No. But I know that I cannot change that. But thinking about a person's physical health, yeah, I can pray for a person's physical health because a person's life is important. But yeah, so nuclear war, 1940s, threats of it ongoing. you know, uh, Nuclear infrastructure, military grade devices, and humans really not behaving at their best. So, how do we help? How do we help? I mean, when I was on LinkedIn, I think about a woman who stood in front of kind of like a butterfly mural, and her posts were always real sweet. And she sang and she talked about being kind. And some people talk about that and they really mean it. Some people talk about it and they don't. Yeah. Well, some people might know better than to try to talk about it at all. I don't know. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, well, you know, what can we do? What can we do? I don't know how to bring the humanity back to a person that has lost it. And, people might look at someone like me, and just think trash, bad person, than somebody that, is all, and oh yeah, that's someone you can trust and that's a good person. Well, a person's physical appearance, I don't need to say that, but some people do think like that. And then what do you do? Well, I tend, I don't know, I like to avoid conflict. I think there are animals like that. I think one might be the cougar, and yeah, I think they don't like conflict. When they attack, depending on their size, they might really inflict some damage. I try not to attack. I have many animals. Coyote, I mean, four-legged creature. That's me. Winged creature, perhaps. Also, I mean, hundred-legged creature. Maybe so. You kind of never know. A creature with no appendages at all. I could be that too. You just don't know. But yeah. Well, anyhow, you guys. Um, some of us are really just hanging on, and I have communicated that I don't know if I'm going to survive these circumstances physically, and that's serious, and I care about my life, and I care about people staying alive, and too many people have died. I don't know if everyone's having this experience, but I mean, we have like a small football team at our high school from people who have died, whether or not they were on the football team. Men, including a musician, and yeah, but women are vulnerable too, and so how are we gonna fix it, you guys? What are some remedies? What are some ways that we're gonna, put an end to nuclear war if we want to think about this as an ongoing problem? How do we fix that? Again, these it ain't gonna be around forever. It has done harm that can't be undone, and promoted so much, and also forced on people. And well, I just want to talk about it for a few minutes. So yeah, thanks for listening.